Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Queen City Unleashed. I'm Shea Lushida, and today I cannot express how excited I am for this interview. We have a Charlotte legend here, Manolo. We are here in his bakery, Manolo's Bakery. He's also the owner of Artisen Vegelatos, Higher Grounds by Manolo's Bakery, and by Immigrant Hands. My friend, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Thank you so much for being here, for coming to the bakery, for coming to East Charlotte, the most beautiful side of Charlotte. And it's an honor to have both of you here.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm excited. One of the first interviews I did was with Sean Cosner. And Sean mentioned you, and then multiple other people mentioned you. And then you and I had a chance to meet towards the end of last year. And I told my wife, I'm like, he's a special man. Charlotte is lucky to have him. So I've been looking forward to this one. You have such a very unique story. It's got trials and victories, but a lot of perseverance in it. So I want to start with your background. How did Manolo end up here in Charlotte?
Like any other immigrant in America, we were raised by the American dream. People don't realize how much power America has around the globe.
Yeah.
When we are kids, we want to come to Disney World. We watch American movies. We hear about American history. So one day I'm gonna write a book. It's called "Don't Blame Me, Your Fault," because I'm talking about how America influenced us, and we want to immigrate, and we want to come.
Yeah.
And then we are right here, and now we find that some people don't want us here, but there's a lot of people that also love us.
Yeah. Well, we love you here. So
Thank you.
Where are you from originally? Where did you immigrate from?
I was born in Colombia, South America.
Okay.
The beautiful country full of flowers and good coffee. So,
Lovers and good coffee.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And in a very small town, and it's called El Carmen. And the town was very small, but I always remember seeing the world map. I said the universe is too big, the world map is too big. Why had to stay in this town? So yeah. I was raised dreaming that one day I was gonna be leaving my town.
Okay. So
nothing wrong with my town.
Yeah.
I love my town. I love my people. It's beautiful, and I have family there. But I have an explorer mentality too.
Yeah.
So I want to travel around the world.
Okay. So how old were you when you first came to the States?
I was 18.
Okay.
That's a very funny story. I love martial arts.
Huh.
Talking about influence.
Yeah.
I love Bruce Lee.
Yeah, the legend.
And then I love Karate Kid, and also
Jackie Chan and
Jackie Chan, and then Tom Cruise. Those are part of my
Tom
stories.
Cruise.
Tom Cruise, like in Top Gun, because those two are very important for me. Those two movies, Karate Kid and Top Gun.
Okay.
So I became a black belt, and I became part of the Colombian national team for Taekwondo. And I came in '94 to compete with the national team of Colombia. And then I arrived in Miami. Wow, man, like in the movies. That was my first time in America, and I called my mom. I said, Mom, I want to stay here. I want to be an immigrant in America. And she says, no, sir, you're coming back to Colombia. You get your college degree. When you get done in your life, you decide what to do. I say, yes, Mom.
Smart.
So I had to behave. But then later on, I became part of the Colombian Navy.
Okay.
And remember, Colombia, by that time, it was pretty bad shape. We were in a war country.
Yeah.
And I became part of the like a special group forces.
Special ops.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. And I started fighting the Colombian guerrillas and the Colombian terrorists. And I didn't like the Colombian war. And I went to the Colombian Navy because, like I said, I want to be like, the Tom Cruise, Top Gun, having the same girlfriend and the motorcycle. I was very little one. My eyeglass is very cheap Ray-Ban too. They are no fake Ray-Ban too. But that wasn't the reality. I had to fight my own people.
Yeah.
And the Colombian war wasn't by myself. I wasn't happy killing each other with my own people, and that's how I left Colombia. That's the reason why I immigrated to America.
Whoa.
Yeah, so there is sadness and blood and part of my life before I came to America.
I don't know how many bakers out there can bake you a great bread or a great dessert and also probably kick your ass at the same time.
No,
Black belt and
no,
taekwondo.
now I have a baker belly too. Now, so I'm no longer in that shape.
I'm sure it's all still in there. It's still in there.
No, the reflex is still there. Yes.
So, where was the first place you came when you immigrated to the States?
That was where.
Where was the first place? Where was your first
Miami.
stop? Miami. Okay.
And it was tough because I didn't speak any English.
Okay.
You could say, you are the ugliest guy in the world. I will say, yes, and I will smile. Everything. I just knew the number from 1 to 10, and I didn't know any English. And it was hard because I was part of I was a second lieutenant in the Colombian Navy. I was an officer. So we have a very high position over there, and I had to come here, and I became a dishwasher. I work in a warehouse. I work as a gardener. All these hard jobs that all our immigrants do in America. So that was a big change, a big impact. I didn't have a car, so I had to ride my bicycle in Miami, and it was very humid there. So it was tough. That was my first taste of what all immigrants bring to our nation.
Yeah. Wow. So from Miami, then did you come to Charlotte?
Miami to Bristol, Tennessee. I had a scholarship to go to King University.
Okay.
And that was another shock. I arrived in a small town where nobody spoke Spanish, and I was just learning English. And because I didn't speak the language, the only job that I was able to do was being a dishwasher at the university where I was studying. And it was 2,000 plates, every single meal that I had to put in the machine. But I also took that as a motivation. Absolutely my first job, it was just put all the leftovers in a plastic bag, in a big container. Then I had to tie that and put all that bag in my bag and walk like one block to put in a container. And all the liquids of the leftovers went through my bag. And always when that happened, I hated, and I said I didn't come to America to do this. One day I'm gonna own a place, I'm gonna own a business, and I'm gonna be selling more than $1 million. So I took that for strength. For motivation.
So Bristol, that's where they have the big NASCAR.
Yeah, I've been around NASCAR all my life.
Okay.
I live for a little while near to Daytona. I went to also Stetson University.
Okay.
In DeLand, Florida. That's very near to Daytona. Then I went to I live in Bristol, now Charlotte, and I date and live with a girl from Alabama, Talladega.
Okay.
So I've been around.
Okay. Wow. So from Bristol is how you ended up here in Charlotte.
Yes. So when I was in Bristol, everything gets connected. There is no coincidence. My last year of college, I had an opportunity to do AmeriCorps.
Okay.
Yeah, and the AmeriCorps was working with farm workers, and that's once again another shock of my life. I never knew how hard it is to work, how hard it is to be a farmer in America until I got to see them this situation until I got to meet these farmers. Remember, 80% of the USA agriculture is done by immigrant hands, and I started being very involved by the person that was my main contact for the program. Her parents are the founders of this bakery.
Of this bakery.
Yes, yes. She's my ex-wife and she's the mother of my children.
Oh.
So her father and her mother, they were the founders of this bakery in '97.
Wow.
Yeah, and so I got to meet her, and that's how I end from Bristol to Charlotte.
Wow.
You know.
And now you're a Charlotte legend. Now you're a legend.
Now I'm a troublemaker.
The right kind of.
A good troublemaker.
Good trouble. I was going to say good trouble.
Troublemaker.
Okay. You've been here for, I think you just said recently, you've been here for 20 years in Charlotte.
This year is going to be 20 years, this November.
So
November of this year.
How have you seen the city change? Like, what are some of the biggest changes or things that you recognize in those 20 years?
Last week when I was giving my speech, I said if it weren't for the people, for the love that Charlotte has gave me, we wouldn't have Manolo's Bakery. Just that simple. This is, we have gone through very tough challenges in this bakery as any other small business owner. You know, we had to face the pandemic.
Yeah.
We had to face the recession. In 28 years, you had to face a lot of things.
Yeah.
You had to face people that don't like us. You had to face a racist system. And every single time that we have had a challenge like that, the community has come here to support us. So if it weren't for the love of Charlotte, if it weren't for the love of people in Charlotte, we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't have a Manolo's Bakery. So
that's awesome.
It's more about sharing love and helping share.
What are some things that you love about Charlotte now? When you're not working, you're not doing all the other things that you're doing. What do you do for fun in the city?
There's too many cool things about, getting to get to know chefs and restaurants, the flavors of Charlotte. That's a cool name. The flavors,
of Charlotte.
People like you guys get to know people. There's very good breweries too, and you can go and have beer. The Charlotte Symphony, my friend Davey always bring very good things. A lot of organizations and non-profits doing all kind of good things for the city. Yeah. It's a bohemian city. It's an open arms city. Yeah, it's not as big as New York and Miami that I also have lived and work on those cities. But it's not as boring like many small towns in America and there's nothing to do. There's always something to do here every weekend.
Yeah. What is some of your favorite places to eat in Charlotte?
Well, I have too many friends in the food and restaurant industry, but...
just a few.
Always. Junta, my good friend Bruno.
Yeah.
Is very good flavors with the fusion there. Catalu with Manny from Spain, very, very good flavors.
Have you been to Azul yet?
No.
Azul is in Wesley Heights.
Yeah.
Very authentic Mexican tacos, handmade tortillas.
Okay,
incredible flavors.
But I don't know if they're gonna be able to beat El Chilango.
Oh, okay.
El Chilango, they have the best tacos in the city.
Okay.
It's the only place in the city that you can get a purple tortilla with beans in a taco.
This one has blue, almost purple, Azul.
Yeah,
their
Azul.
tacos are like purple, blue. You have to go. I'll go to the other one. You have to go to Azul.
Let's go together. One day we'll go to your place.
Yes, we'll do it together.
Saturday,
that'll be fun.
Yeah. But rooftops, there are some good rooftops with good cocktails as well. Yeah, there's good places. I like to go to small businesses, no like big chains or franchises. Yeah.
Man, that is special. What part do you live on the east side of Charlotte too?
I have always lived in East Charlotte.
Oh, so that's why you said the prettiest side of Charlotte.
It's where the sun rises, man, every day in East. The sun rises on the east side of anywhere. But no, the thing is, Charlotte is a very nice and good
Yeah.
city. There's good people everywhere around the country, like anywhere around the world.
Yeah.
There's good and bad people. But the thing is, if you are in East Charlotte, you don't feel like a foreign. Nobody's gonna treat you different way. It's like anyone who lives in East Charlotte, talking about Americans, they like immigrants. They like people who look different. There's
Yeah.
people that have chosen to live in East Charlotte because they like the diversity that we have in East Charlotte. So that's what is special about this. And but of course, we need to pay a lot of attention to West Charlotte as well. I don't know if you are familiar, but Charlotte is like an airplane. North or south, there's a lot of money, and nothing wrong about that. Everybody deserves to, and West people work hard. But the flights of this airplane,
Yeah.
there are east and west, and we need to learn how to navigate and walk all around this airplane, because it has been said that people that have come to the bakery, they say, "Oh, I have been in Charlotte for 20 years, and this is the first time that I'm myself in Central Avenue." That's and fight a lot about breaking that parallel world.
Yeah.
Then people from other sides of the city don't want to come here, or people from here don't want to go to other sides of the city.
Yeah.
We need to work more about that integration.
You said something when I first met you that people were talking about building bridges, and you said, if I remember correctly,
Yeah.
you said we don't need to build bridges. People need to cross the bridges we already have.
Yeah, there's too many bridges, but nobody wants to cross them. You need to take the risk to cross the bridge,
Yeah.
grab the hand of the person on the other side, and bring it to this side too.
Yeah.
And that goes for everybody, not just north south. We need to stop the division in this country, man.
Yeah.
We need to be proactive and think more about community. That's another symbol of myself. I like a lot the word "we,"
Yeah.
because we share the same water, the same air, the same constitution, the same leaders, but the system is not allowing us to talk about we, because we need to respect your privacy and you need to respect mine. If we don't change that, we are gonna be losing our sense of community.
Yeah. Man, I remember you told me, I reached out to Manolo about shooting the podcast like I do for a lot of people. And he was like, "Hey, can you come into the store?" And I was like, "Yeah, I can." But I was like, I normally don't go in ahead. And I was here, maybe 10 minutes? And he told me his story. And I remember getting home to tell my wife. And I'm like, that's one of the most incredible people I've ever met. I was like, hearing you talk about your journey and your story, like that bridge thing, I remember that from months ago because that stuck with me of like
Yes,
how
wow.
how you talk about it. I just think it's so beautiful, but so honest and real. And I think more people need to hear that message.
Yeah, I like breaking all the lies that the regular media brings to society. Like people say that immigrants come here to steal jobs. That's the biggest lie. We come here to do a lot of jobs and to take a lot of jobs that nobody else are taking it.
Yeah.
And there is a lot of hypocrisy in the system, because any immigrant can come to America and get a W-7 in order to pay taxes. So all of us as an immigrant doesn't matter, you can with documents or no documents, are paying Social Security, Medicaid, unemployment. But you don't have a Social Security, you're never gonna get those benefits back. And trust me, non-immigrant in America was able to get any help through the pandemic. So who is stealing whom? Yeah, so those are realities that we need to face. Like I was also telling you, my daughter, my breast full of tears.
Yeah.
Because we as an immigrants, we are the bravest people in the world. We were able to leave our mothers, our fathers, many of them, they left their children just to come here to take care of families, to take care of had to leave because the conflict of their countries, and many of these countries, they are in conflict, they are in war because the poverty, that the biggest nations around the world has created in these countries. Yeah, so that is a you don't want us here, okay? Don't take the resources and the richness and the good things of our countries.
Yeah. And then they just leave you with the fallout.
Yeah.
You have a mural outside your store that I think is so beautiful. We'll make sure we get a picture of it and put it in here. Can you tell me about this mural? I'll paint the image for you, but it's kids holding on to a kite
Yeah.
and a bunch of kids. Can you tell everyone what that is and what that means to
Yeah,
you?
he's a local painter did that, and those are the 10,000 children that lost their parents through deportation proceedings in Mecklenburg County when Mecklenburg County was working with the sheriff. That, by the way, is also is again the law come back imposed by federal government. So those are American children, citizens who have lost their father. So whenever they rise the kite and they look the sky, they're connecting with the parent who have been deported, who is in another part of the world. But the sadness of this is because those children are being raised, with sadness, mad, and maybe very, very upset with the system, with the country that took their parents away.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are no criminals, man. If
Yeah.
it weren't, like again, if it weren't for the immigrant labor, this country wouldn't run.
Yeah.
Who is gonna be cooking? Who is gonna be cleaning the dishes? Who is gonna be taking care? And no, there's no another minority that create business as immigrants in this country.
Yeah.
And by the way, if it weren't for the children of our immigrant community, we wouldn't have a social security making unemployment for the future because the Americans are not having babies. Yeah, and now they're now live more.
Yeah.
They retire at 65, and people are dying 100, 105.
Yeah.
So it's who's going to be taking care all these people for 40 years? Nobody thinks about those things. So,
Yeah.
We should be so grateful when an immigrant have a baby.
I did not say that. Manolo said it.
Yeah, because that kid, we are going to make sure and we are going to be safe in the future.
Yeah. There was something that you told me too about that mural, that there was a document, and maybe it's gone away now, but there was something that was signed here for Mecklenburg County. Can you tell me about that and maybe how it's changed?
Yeah, our sheriff, when he was running to be the sheriff, he promised in this bakery, if I win, the first thing that I'm gonna be doing is sending that law, the one that the charity department work with immigration here at the bakery.
To deport parents.
Yeah, sadly. So he won, and the first thing that he did was sign the end of that law. So this
and he signed it here.
Yeah, here in this bakery. So this bakery is a symbol of hope for our immigrant community. But yeah, of course, we also have enemies, and we are a symbol of rebellion.
Yeah, but the right type of rebellion.
Totally. Yeah. I never. My soul is not for sale, man.
Yeah.
My principles and my values are gonna be always over the madness of the world.
What are some of those trials that you've had here? I mean, you told me there was times where ICE was camping out in your parking lot.
Yeah.
What was that like? I know you had a situation where I think one of your employees was taken.
Yeah, he wasn't taken. He was kidnapping.
Oh, okay.
By the system, because he came to work. He parked his car, and then 6 men jumped from 2 vans with guns, put him in a van, and he kept calling him Roger, and his name was Charlie. So they picked the wrong guy. Yeah, and 4 hours later he was, like in a concentration camp in Georgia. And so when I arrived to work, my team, my employees, they were crying. What happened? They took one of us in a parking lot. In order to you supposed to be pick up, you need to have an order signed by a judge. They didn't even show a paper. The same thing that they're doing right now, they're not even showing papers. They're just keep picking up people from the streets, from the cars, from everywhere. So it's tough. It's so tough and it's so hard and it's painful when you come and you see your team are crying. Nobody was coming at the bakery because they say ISIS and Manolo, ISIS and Manolo, immigration and Manolos. Don't go there. So nobody's coming to buy bread. So you have to face three fears. You have to face the fear of your employees, the fear of your community, and your own fear. Because if I don't have employees and I don't have customers, I don't have a business.
Right.
So I wrote a post and I said, if you care about a small business owned by immigrants, come here and support us. If you don't care, that's fine too. I will close my business. I will move to a more friendly city. But man, that day, like I say, it's always representation, so love for community. People drove from Raleigh, from Winston-Salem, from everywhere here to support me because that became viral and a lot of people keep coming and say, I don't know what a hot tamal is, but give me 20. Yeah, so that has been one of the toughest moments of the bakery.
Man, and he said something earlier that I want to go back to, that the bread and stuff that they have here has like real tears in it, because sometimes the struggle of some of your employees and what they go through, but they show up here and they work hard, but there's emotion and true tears into the bread and the cakes and things that they make.
Yeah, let me connect to two stories there. The one that we just were talking, the guy that was picked up at the parking lot, he left his country because his 12-year-old daughter was being raped by the guns of that country. Any father will leave any place, any country in order to find a safe place for the family.
Yeah.
Just think about if, change. If that is happening here and, crossing Mexico, you are safer in Mexico. You will leave to Mexico because it's closer, If if USA collapse and you are no longer safe in this nation, your family is not safe, you cannot take care of them, you cannot. But in Canada, you can get a very good paid job.
Yeah.
You will go to Canada, It's that simple.
Survival.
Survival. We always had immigration around the world. Jesus is the biggest immigrant in the world.
My parents are immigrants from Nigeria. So they came over in the early mid-90s for work, and my dad would tell you, he said it was so cold, they moved to Detroit from Nigeria.
Wow.
And so Detroit gets
freezing.
-40, and the coldest he had seen in Nigeria was 60 degrees. So it was 100 degrees colder than anything he'd ever seen. And he told me, I think this was last year, a year ago, when I was starting to ask him more questions about like that transition. And he goes, it was so cold, I wanted to go back, but he didn't have any money to be able to afford a plane ticket back.
Wow.
So he goes, I was just kind of stuck. And so then my mom came over maybe 6-8 months later. They got married in Detroit, had me about a year and a half later. And then my dad said, we can't do this anymore, it's too cold. So they ended up moving to Virginia. But when you talk about that story of immigrants, it is something that I understand.
It goes in your DNA.
Yeah, it's in me. And I think when you talk about the principles and your soul not being for sale, I think watching, my dad had a business too, and my mom was right there with him in the business.
Wow.
And getting to see how hard they work. When people are like, oh, you guys are doing well, or my siblings, like, you guys are doing well in life, it's like, we had no choice. Like, our parents made huge sacrifices leaving their country to come here. They had no family here.
No.
Neither of my parents, they both got married.
Wow.
My mom is one of 6. My dad is one of 3. None of their parents, none of their siblings were at their wedding.
Wow, man.
And so they came here and started fresh for themselves and have built this life to be able to send 2-3 kids, help them go through college. And I live here. I've been married for years. My brother's in DC. My sister's in college. And like, all of our success, I always say, is like their hard work and like their story. And I think that's when you talk about your story, it's I don't think it should be any different because my parents came here for what they call professional jobs as
Yeah.
physical therapists. You wanted a better life for yourself, and you want to pursue that. And I think that's what
Exactly,
matters.
and this is the land of the opportunity.
Yeah.
Like when I bought the bakery, we had $300,000 on sales, and there were 6 employees working. Now we are almost in $2 million on sales. I own 4 more businesses, and I employ almost 70 people. So I have this big issue and this big fight when people deny and they don't believe in the American dream.
Yeah.
The American dream is still alive.
Yeah.
And piss me off when Americans don't believe in their own nation and they don't love their own nation.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's, but it's not all about money either.
Yeah.
Because I always, I have been in Ukraine. We have been helping. We help 26 nonprofits from this bakery.
Yeah.
We do a lot of social work and
Yeah.
social labor.
You're really, really doing the work. You just mentioned it, so I'm just going to go ahead and go there. Ukraine.
Yeah.
You showed me a picture, and we'll get a picture of this too. A picture and a piece of wood.
Yeah.
And that just stuck with me. Can you tell me what on earth you were doing in Ukraine and the stories and the meaning behind that wood that you brought back?
We rebuild bakeries in Ukraine. We go there and we hug people and we told them that they are not by themselves, that there is people that love and care about them around the world. But the story is that when the war started, remember I was part of the military forces of Colombia. So my first thought, oh man, I'm gonna go there and I'm gonna fight. But then I look my belly. Oh no, I'm kidding. I thought about my kids. I thought about my wife, about the business. I said no, I'm no longer that soldier. So I said, what else can I do? And I said, well, what about if I help bakers? If there is bread and people are eating, they have food in their bellies, there is hope.
Yeah.
And if we have hope, we have faith. So that is what made me to go to Ukraine. That was what pushed me to go there.
And so you were helping bakers in Ukraine after the Ukraine-Russia war started. Yeah. You've been how many times? Was it 3?
3 times.
Man.
Yeah, one time, the first time we went to a border, we went to Poland. And when I saw the people coming out from the country, we were at the border. I walk a little bit inside the border. They kick me out, and then I come back and I start putting everything together to go inside Ukraine. And I have been in Bucha, just 10 minutes away from Kyiv.
And so the piece of wood that you brought back, tell that to me. I'm telling you, I left the first time I met you, Manolo, and was like, that's all I could think about. And I'm just like, this man is just, he cares so much and he's always trying to do the right thing. So that piece of wood, tell me about that.
The bakery that we help, big bomb came, fall very near to them and destroy the oven. So we collect money here to make a new oven. But electricity is very bad there, so they are baking with wood. So they have all these boxes with wood boxes of Russian bullets. So Tomas is my good friend who helped me. He's American, but he lived there. He's the one who moved me and would take me inside, and he's my interpreter. And we became friends, and we think very different. A lot of things about politics, but we share the same heart and the same passion for helping people. So one time I told him, I want to bring that piece of wood to America. I said, I will deliver it to you. But that is a symbol of how we are changing the world to create hope. And we are baking bread to give life through that piece of wood. And that was carrying bullets.
Yeah, that's what I got home and told my wife. I was like, he has a piece of wood that was used and intended to cause harm and kill. You guys are creating new life with it.
You see, man, you had the better words to describe it.
No, but I want to hear from like that stuck with me, that like something truly that was intended to kill, that you guys found a way to turn that to bring life and joy and rebuild.
I don't know if I told you the story about the cake too.
No,
then
please
we have
tell
a
me.
cake that save lives. Okay, so get ready for the tears. I hear about this non-profit here that they celebrate the birthdays of our homeless. By the way, they call them neighbors. No, they are because they are our neighbors. They just live on the street. I said, well, cool, man. How you thought about that, celebrating the birthdays of our neighbors? I said, where are you getting the cakes? And they said, we cannot afford a cake. How you celebrate a birthday without cake? So I said, from now on, you go to a bakery and you can pick any cake to celebrate the birthday. Well, I told them they were going to come to pick a small cake for the person who's having the birthday. They came and ordered a full cheap cake every 2 weeks. That's an expensive cake. And it was a time that we were having a hard time here. And I was thinking, maybe I need to talk with this nonprofit, tell them, hey, come and pick the little cake. But when I was in the middle of thinking that, a woman approached me and said, are you the cake guy? I said, I guess so. She said, you saved a life yesterday. I said, no, man, you're mistaken. How I save a life? And she said, let me tell you how you save a life yesterday. I said, we got around our neighbor to celebrate the birthday. When we were singing a happy birthday, he started crying and tears start coming again, tears over the cake. And we asked, why are you crying? He said it was the first time in his life that he had a birthday cake. Because that birthday cake and that celebration, he didn't kill himself. So he took the gun out and put it next to the cake. Wow, man. When you know that a cake save a life, you don't mind to give any cake. So I told her, look, if my cakes are saving lives, you can anytime, any day. If you have to come every day, but please keep getting cakes. So in 10 years, we have donated more than 300 cakes to the organization. And we also had a cake project. And in the pandemic, we donated more than 5,000 cakes to anyone in Mecklenburg County who can afford a cake. And we also deliver more than 52,000 meals through the pandemic, to the 10 city. Remember 10 city?
Yeah.
I was there every day, man. I was delivering meals there. Yeah, a lot of people help us. You know, the bakery became a full kitchen. Yeah, so we were so busy. But we also work with World Central Kitchen. A lot of churches help us, a lot of people from the community.
Manolo, you really are a legend. like you, gosh.
That's why I became the USA Brave Hero. That's an award I got.
Yeah, tell us about that. You and I talked about it a little.
One day I wake up and this guy with a British accent, he said, congratulations, you are the USA Brave Hero. Who is that guy? And then he's playing that joke. But then I start getting all these calls and emails, and then there is, IVA, that is the biggest organization for the bread industry in America. Choose people from the bakers from different different places of the nation, and I was the overall winner for that because all the humanitarian work that we do from this bakery.
Man.
Yeah, so
and you've won a lot of awards in Charlotte, whether it's Uppies or other. You've won a lot.
Yes.
Which one is that? The one that stands out and means the most to you because of it's not just about the bakery, but about all the other things.
That brought me a very cool thing that I'm using lately a lot in my life because that award I was at the front page of the national newspaper in my nation, the oldest newspaper in the nation. And that award also made a very famous cartoonist to draw a cartoon about Superman shaking his hand with me. He says, hey, very nice to meet you, Superman, and answering, very nice to meet you, Super Bread. but the story about that cartoon, that is becoming a symbol of hope for myself. Superman is also an immigrant.
Yeah, from Krypton.
Yeah, Superman wasn't born in America. The most beloved, the most loved hero in America is an immigrant. And the symbol in Superman's chest is hope.
Yep.
And hope is why I made your father, your mother, myself, and all our immigrants to come to America. If it weren't for hope, we wouldn't have left our country.
Yeah.
So that cartoon is becoming the symbol of my fight right now.
Yeah.
You know, because every single immigrant is a hero in America.
Superbread. Manolo, aka Mr. Superbread. Okay, we're in your bakery in the back here, massive bakery. Tell me about this bakery. When did you take it over? I want to talk about all these beautiful, colorful cakes and breads. So let's talk about the bakery.
Well, the only risk here is to fall in love. We have we laugh. This is the commercial time. You guys need to come here and by the way, eat my gelato too.
Please come.
But we have flavor from 65 different kind of breads.
65 different kind of breads.
Yeah, and our most famous cake is the tres leches cake.
Okay.
It's a 3 meals cake. It's my own recipe. And
how many countries represented?
the bakery was founded by Mexicans. Most of our breads are from Mexico. But we have breads from like 10 different countries. We have breads from Honduras. We have bread from Salvador. We have bread from Colombia. We have bread from Cuba. We have bread from Portugal. We have breads from, I say Portugal. Yeah, like 10 different countries.
Man.
And it was a time in my life that I wasn't proud of my bakery and I wasn't proud of myself and I was embarrassed of talking, having this accent. And I went for the bakery to look like Panera.
Oh.
And I was a little bit ashamed of myself. And then I went through this leadership program with the Latin America Chamber of Commerce. And my mentor, Brenda Anderson, she said to me, the day that you start talking from your heart, everybody's going to pay attention to you. And that's when I decided to be very proud of my bakery. And then I started studying a lot. I went to Stanford University. I took a program there for small businesses. You know, now I have another mentor, Carlos Alum. But that's how we became, you know, we all this identity, we all this brand, and everything works together as one group, one family. That's Manolo's.
Okay. So you guys have been open since 1997?
Yes.
And you took it over when?
I came to Charlotte in 2005.
Okay.
In 2014, my ex-wife and I, we bought the bakery from the founders. And then in 2017, I became the sole owner of the bakery.
And you guys just keep, you can't see the kitchen here, but he told me that they just kept growing back and back. And
and we are expanding now too.
Okay, so tell me what's coming next door?
Oh, very cool things. We remember the restaurant, some of the famous restaurants had a chef's table.
Yeah.
We are going to have Manolo's table there too.
Okay.
Yeah. So next time it's going to be Manolo's table.
Okay.
But it's going to be, that table is also a place where, you know, a place where we are going to be eating very good bread, maybe learning how to bake bread, and also sharing life and laughing. And we have Manolo's table that is going to be one room. We have another room that is for like meetings, and we have like, of course, the Instagram. So please follow us, commercial too, and social media. And then we are going to have a coffee shop.
Okay. Because you guys have your own, you said the best coffee comes from Colombia.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Of course, yeah. When I can control that. Yeah, so yeah, I bring the coffee. That's a fair trade coffee. 100% the profits of that coffee goes back to community, and we buy it straight from the farmer. I've been in that farm, and we are treating well the farmers.
Man, that's awesome. So this new spot where you guys will expand will have a coffee shop, meeting space, place to break bread, like a community place.
Exactly, yeah. And we're also gonna have like, using our bread, we are gonna have like this kind of paninis or flatbreads,
Okay.
very cool recipes, and we are gonna have like yuca and corn waffles.
Well, my wife loves yuca.
Oh,
So,
really?
oh yeah,
Raise your
she
hand.
loves it. So I'm sure that we'll be over here. You said yuca waffles?
Yes.
Oh,
Our audience has that one. Yeah, we have been doing a lot of tasting lately.
Okay.
With a lot of good products at home.
okay. So that's the Manolo's. Is that the name of it? Manolo's table?
Yeah, because those walls are gonna fall down, and it's gonna be just one place.
Okay, so Manolo's table coming over here. You've got a handful of businesses, and I want you to talk about all of them because everyone needs to be supporting Manolo because when you support his businesses, what he does with the dollar isn't just for the business, it's for so many different things. And so it's not just supporting him, but the mission that he lives out. And if you can't tell now already, I don't know how else I can convince you.
Thank you.
But you've got a higher grounds that you partner with the church.
Yeah, Higher Grounds, we are partnering with My Spark United Methodist Church. They have supported me a lot through the years, again, through the pandemics, to the trips. We have been in Colombia. We have been at the border with Mexico.
Okay.
We have been in Poland. So it's a church that supports a lot of the minorities and the diversity of the city. And they are... we employ minorities, people with special needs or special abilities, not needs. They have
Special abilities. I like
special
that.
abilities, people who need a second chance in society. 100% of the profits goes back to community there or to the missions of the church.
To the coffee shop?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't pay myself there. I'm not the payroll either.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's Higher Grounds by Manolo's at the corner of Province and Queens and Myers Park.
Okay.
And then we have Artisen Gelato.
Yeah, you have some here, right?
Yes,
Okay.
we have some here. We can have some. The cool thing about that gelato is there's no dairy. Yeah, so it's no gluten, no eggs, no nuts, and it tastes good.
So everybody can have it.
Everybody can have it. Anyone in the food industry, when they hate people with allergies. Somebody with allergy come to a restaurant, oh my God, it's the biggest headache. We tell that people, you are welcome here.
Oh, yeah.
And also the rent went up very drastically in that place, so we are dividing the business in St. Matthews, and we're also gonna have a coffee shop there and a little pastries from the bakery there too.
Okay.
Yeah, please come because I really had a hard time there this winter.
Yeah.
Yeah. People are not coming to the business.
So that's going to also get a coffee shop here.
Yeah.
Manolo's Coffee is just going to take over Charlotte, huh?
That's the idea, man. That's what we're working on.
Okay. And then I want to talk about your organization here. Can you tell? This is new for me. Can you tell me about this?
Yeah, that's the surprise. Absolutely. It has been around just 1 week.
Oh, just a week.
Yeah.
Okay, wow. Okay.
Yeah, the last Friday is the presentation. For years and years, a lot of people in the community, organizations, churches have been donating money to me. And that money goes through my personal account or through a business account. And, it feels weird. People trust me and people gave me their money and I, it got to the point that finally my friend Natalia helped me, putting together my nonprofit. And we went through a lot of thinking, what is the real purpose of this movement? I'm not calling this a nonprofit. I'm not calling this an organization. I'm calling this a movement. I want for everybody to jump in and be part of this movement. So now you know why we put we, because it's very important to me use the word we. And 4 is immigrants, neighbors, small businesses, and people like you guys that are silent heroes that trying to make a change in their societies and their cities. Yeah, so those are the number 4. That's
immigrants, neighbors, small businesses, and the silent heroes.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and a symbol that very colorful that people are going to remember. by United, and so when you see the full presentation, every group has a special symbol, but when we unite all the symbols, became that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that welcome to We Care For.
We care for you, man. Was it just we care for?
Four.
Or we
No, We Care For.
we care for?
The number.
Man, that's awesome.
Thank you.
That is awesome.
Thank you so much.
And then you're also wearing a shirt
That's the
that
latest
I
song.
think this is you. A lot of
Commercial number 3. This is the fashion now.
a lot of things that you do. Most of the things, it sounds like almost everything you do is for other people. There is a moment though. This shirt, if you can't say "Made in Charlotte" by Immigrant Hands, other things he has says "Made in America" by Immigrant Hands. But there was a special celebrity who wore one of your shirts. How exciting was
that? Yeah, Luis Fonsi, my another hero. Laura, my good friend. We were partners in this one, and she was able to get Luis Fonsi to wear our hoodie. And remember that the Made in America by Immigrant Hands, it was when I realized that everything that we make in this bakery is made by the hands of immigrants.
Yeah.
So I was wearing that in my shirt. And a lot of people, when you got that shirt? And that's how we became with this brand. And now we are making like, people like you are in Texas, you can make a made in Texas by immigrant hands, or even if you are in another nation. That's my view. We are working on, because everywhere around the world there is immigrants. But imagine, making London by immigrant hands.
Yeah.
It's something that became global.
Man, well, what was your reaction when you saw him in the hoodie though? Like that's got to be you don't do the things you do clearly. You don't do it for recognition. But when Luis Fonsi wears your hoodie with your saying on it, how cool is that?
There is, trust me, and I'm becoming. I don't know how to describe it. Lately, I can cry faster and easier. But first of all, we were sold out that day. Everybody wanted to wear it, and we didn't have enough inventory, so sales were very good. But when you are inspiring more people, and people like celebrities, to with your message, with your way of thinking, that's, man, you're making me great. That's when you know that you are leaving the right legacy to your children.
Yeah.
You cannot believe it, but it really is very touching knowing that your father and your mother are immigrants, because they left the right legacy on you, and because you are here and you are doing this because you want to do the right thing in this world.
Yeah.
So that is what we got together. God put us together.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
No, man,
My parents,
they
watch
feel
the
proud of you.
Yeah, thank you. They watch the episodes and they'll tell me, "Oh, we watched this one," so I'm excited for them to watch this one because it's.
You did right, mom and dad.
No, they did, and I get to tell them that it's just I understand like that journey, and they my dad talks about like him coming here and it being so cold outside, he has to dig himself out of snow, and he's not seen snow before, but he's got to get to work and make it. And I think a brave person. The brave in ways that I don't have to be.
Yeah.
And so I think it's on us to then, if I don't have to be brave in that way, how else can I take their sacrifice and make it something good for others? And that's why I enjoy this. It's not, this isn't about me. Like this podcast is not, so I can get rich. You're not going to get rich doing a podcast. This is for me. It's like, they're incredible people in our city who have been here for 20 years. And if people don't know these stories and they don't know, since I came that one time, I've told so many people, I'm like, hey, I live on this side of town, the east side. I was like, have you been to Manolo's? No, where's Manolo's? You need to go. You need to go. You need to go. And I just think it's, people like you are the heroes that our city should celebrate, the ones who are getting into good trouble.
But the idea is also inspiring, when because you always get, the person that says, oh man, you're just doing that because you want for people to get to know you, or and I said, well, no, I really want for some kid in any town around the world to know that it doesn't matter if you were born in a small town in a poor family, you can be somebody in this world. You can make a change. You can get money. You can become famous, and you can create, and you can leave a better world and a good legacy to your
Yeah.
family.
That's even a question I had
Yeah.
that you already started to answer. What are you hoping that when it's all said and done, you're probably not going to stop working till you're like 90. So when it's all said and done and you're 105, what do you hope your legacy is on this city of Charlotte? Let's start with there, because I'm sure you hope it's past Charlotte, but what do you hope at 105 you look back and all the things you've done and all the lives that you've touched? What are you hoping people are saying about Manolo?
Man, then we live just as a one community. You know, we still talking about Martin Luther King, about Gandhi, about Mandela. Then we still recognizing sentences that they left to us. You know, so I really want, I really want that everybody is welcome in here, and everybody can share the same bread, the same community, and the same blessings, because there's nothing different between you and I, and between people. Just one word and one love, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was it Bob Marley who said that? One love. One love.
Yeah, it came out, but yeah, Bob Marley did a good job on me because it came out from my subconscious.
Fun fact about Bob Marley, he and I have the same birthday.
Oh, really?
Yep, me and Bob.
When is your birthday?
It was a week and a half ago, I think, February 6th.
Man, and you didn't tell me for your cake.
It's okay. No, it's okay. I have thought about it. I don't order a lot of sheet cake, but I've thought about it that for my team, if we're ever ordering cake, this is where I'm coming, because this is why I do this podcast, because you can order cake from anywhere. We have Publix and they have good cakes, and you can order cakes from anywhere. But when you hear someone's story like this, you're more inclined to go buy a cake from Manolo, because it's not just going to some public corporation. Like, you're buying a cake from Manolo that's supporting 70 people, probably majority of them immigrants. You know that money, the profit he makes, doesn't just go to Manolo's Bakery. It's going to Ukraine or other nonprofits, or to make cakes for our neighbors that live on the street. And it's like, that to me is why I do this, because these are the stories that impact people and can change how we spend our dollar, because our dollar is the biggest way we show what we care about, so it can change those habits for good.
There's a lot of people that keep asking me, what can we do right now to help the immigrant community, because the situation that we have right now.
Yeah.
I said, please go and spend money in any small business owned by immigrants, because our community is in fear. They're not coming out from their houses. Yeah. So we are having a very hard time right now to keep our businesses open.
Yeah, you said after January 20. You tell me a little more about that?
Yeah, our January 20, our sales keep going down. And I'm very blessed, and I'm able to have people like you and more people sharing the story, and I'm receiving a lot of Americans. A lot of Americans are coming here. But please, my message is, please support any small business owned by immigrants, because now more than ever we need for you guys to spend money in our businesses.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like I say, I know I don't have 3 mansions. I don't have a house on the lake. I want, and I'm working for that. And one day I'm gonna have one, because it's part of the American dream, and I have worked so hard,
you deserve
very
to
hard.
have it.
Yes, but it's it's also when you buy a piece of bread here, you are paying the medicine of somebody's mother in a poor country.
Yeah.
You're paying the college education of some employees' kids in another country. you are paying the house, the roof of somebody else in another country,
Yeah.
and that also is moving the global economy. Yeah, so that is by then it goes to all to economy and how the money is moving
Yeah.
around the globe.
Manolo, I told you before, I've been more excited about this interview
Thank you.
more than a lot. And not that I'm not excited to talk to other people, but I can easily say that you are by far the most inspiring person that we've had
Oh,
on this
man.
podcast. And I think
You're
that
gonna make me cry.
no, Manolo, I
Sorry, man,
truly, I truly mean it. Your story of resilience, your courage is very convicting. That if someone who did not have all the resources that others have is making the impact you're having, then why aren't others? I think you're just a very special human being, and we are very blessed to have you in Charlotte.
Thank
And
you.
the impact
Thank you
that
so
you
much.
have in all the different ways. So I know it's probably hard right now. Sales might not be great, but the impact that you're leaving in Charlotte is noticed, and it
Thank
is
you.
going to continue to be noticed. And if I have anything to say about it, this is a story that I will continue to push and share, because I appreciate you in this city. Charlotte is so much better because you are here in this
Oh,
city.
man, you are so sweet, and thank you so much. Like I said at the beginning, thank you for being here.
Yeah,
For taking the chance to fall in love with this place.
yeah,
And but especially for being brave enough to share my message.
Yeah, absolutely.
Helping me to share this, and like I say, it's all about I'm just sharing the blessings, man, and it got to the point that I had to accept that God wants me for something here in this.
you are
And
living your
this-
purpose, Manolo. This is your
yes,
purpose.
Yes, that my purpose is inspiring more people to do
Yeah.
it, and I'm just doing my job, and I'm gonna keep doing it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna give up. Like when I go to bed, and lately, in the last couple of weeks, few times we have going to bed in fear. Maybe my wife crying, maybe talking with my kids. If I get detained, if I end in jail, don't worry. I'm an American citizen, but I'm not gonna. It's no. I'm an American citizen, and I have the same rights than
Yeah.
any other American citizen. I don't have to be carrying my passport to show that I'm part of this nation.
Yeah,
You don't have to carry your passport to show, So I'm not gonna do that. If I get detained, and if I get deported, and if I go to jail, I'm gonna face the system all way long, because the more important is for my kids to know, and any kids to know, that freedom is the biggest flag that an American has around the globe, man. I'm not gonna give up my freedom. I'm not gonna let anyone to take our freedom away.
and Manolo, if they ever try to get you, there is a community of people who would be storming down the doors on your behalf to make sure that you're okay. Because
Thank you.
we need you here in the city, and we need more people like you. And I want to shout out one person, the person that you said was your mentor in the Charlotte Commerce.
Yeah.
Whoever that person
Ren.
was that told you to be yourself and to be proud, that person, I just want to say thank you, because you being yourself is how you're going to continue to inspire so many people.
Yeah, her name is Brenda Anderson. She moved to Texas, but this past Monday she came to visit Charlotte. She was here in Charlotte, and we had coffee together. And yeah, she's a very special and brave woman too.
Yeah. So those kind of people, because she helped you to unlock being your authentic self.
Yeah.
Now you get to share that with the rest of us, and how many people you get to inspire here in Charlotte, in Ukraine, in Colombia, wherever it is. Luis Fonsi wearing your shirt, you get to inspire him. If he's wearing that because he's inspired, so you're inspired, Luis Fonsi. Like that, how cool is that?
No.
But you being yourself is making a difference, and then on top of it, you've just got all these beautiful, beautiful things. Last pitch before we get out of here.
Yeah.
if someone comes in and they've never had any sort of dessert or treat, what would you tell them to order? Like, give them like 3 things that, because I'm sure they could order everything, but give them 3 authentic things you think they should order.
There's some cool things, like a special flavor that I always like to talk about is the passion fruit cake.
Okay.
Because that's like life is sour and sweet at the same time.
Like life.
Yeah. Always when you have cake, you always have something sweet. The passion fruit cake has this savory flavor that is very unique. And that's a special cake for me. Another special cake that I have is the cheer wine tres leches cake. Because everybody in the food industry like to talk about the fusion of this and this and that. What about the bakeries? We need to start creating our own fusions. We have, my wife and I, but that's a business that we are very sad, but we are selling it right now. That's why I haven't mentioned it that much. It's called Tira's Cake House. It's in Salisbury.
Okay.
And remember, Cheer Wine was created in Salisbury, and they had a festival there. So we create that cake in honoring Salisbury and the Cheer Wine industry.
Okay.
Yeah, so we had the Cheer Wine tres leches cake.
Okay.
It's very cool too. And of course, and the gluten-free vegan brownie. Yeah, it's made with rice flour. Okay. And it's very, very good brownie. Okay. That one, we made that one in Matthews, in Artisen. Okay. Yeah, so those will be my 3 different, unique, cool things I have.
The one downside, the only downside about doing this interview is that I know I was going to walk out of here with more bakery items, and I've been trying to be really good this year, going to the gym, but I know I'm like, the day you go in there, you're going to buy a whole bunch of stuff.
Man, but calories don't count on display.
Manolo's calories don't count. Guys, please come support Manolo in any way that you can at any of his businesses. If you can't see the heart that this man has for people, just all people, immigrants, Americans, no matter where you are, he has a heart for people. Come support him. I cannot stress that enough. We're excited to be considered friends of Manolo. We will be supporting him continually. And then we're going to find a date. We're going to go try the different taco places together.
Oh, yes.
We're going to make that happen. Yeah. But, my friend, thank you.
Thank you so much, brother.
Thank you for giving us your time and welcoming us into your space. This is the end of this episode. Thank you so much for tuning in, and please make sure you support Manolo and all the amazing things he has going on. Thank you.